Hello world, it's another day. Just putting the finishing touches on everything to get out the house and get to it. Run my daily marathon, come out with a win, somehow, some way. I still haven't been able to get out as early as I would like, but I'm out earlier than yesterday. It can make a difference. Get a few extra dollars. We'll see how it goes. As you can see, it's another bright sunny day. That's not gonna let up. It was raining a lot last month, but it slowed down. These past 3 or 4 days, it been sunny and hot. So we'll see how today goes. I got my water already, so I'm ready to stay hydrated and ready to get to it. Stay tuned. I just got 2 orders. It's really 3, but on this app sometimes they'll have bundle orders, so it'll be like 2 orders in one at the same location, which is Target. So I got an individual order from 1 to 2, and then I have the bundle from 2 to 3. So it's almost 1. It's almost 1 right now. So the first order, I'm gonna have to do a little hustling just in general, but that's how they came out. I was over here at the car wash, at one of my loiter spots over by the 10, like I showed y'all the other time. And I was gonna wipe down my car because yesterday I drove over a dusty road and it got everything all dusty again. So I was gonna get back to clean status, but it didn't work out like that because these orders came through. So I'm gonna try to jump on those right quick and then just keep it flowing. If you watching, I appreciate y'all 1,000%. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like. Let's run it up. So I'm right here at Target. As you can see in the background, you see Target. It's another Target right here. I got to do a little extra hustling. Like I said, I had 3 orders, 1 bundle, which is 2 in 1, and then I had 1. As I was looking at other orders, because other offers was coming in at this same location, I was weighing out time management to see if I could squeeze another one in, because all these are simply small orders. This first customer called and put in a request to see if I could get it there a little prompt, because I guess the order got pushed back because another shopper had canceled it or something. So they must be on time constraint. So I got to run in here and try to bust this one down, drop that one off, come back and do the other 2. So I finished the order. This one was fast. Had to be under 5 minutes flat. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one out the way. Headed to drop off this order. Tough to appreciate the prompt service. Dropped off that order. Now I'm headed back to the same Target to do these other 2. Back at the Target, the same one. About to run through these 2 orders right quick. It would have been nice to get that 3rd one. All these orders right now is between $6 and $7. I think one was like $8. So ain't really worth too much. But about to make it all add up. That's the main thing. The orders can't come fast enough. I like it when it's flowing, because I could get in there and really get something going and get a cool number. But we'll see. It's still early a little bit. Like I say, I didn't get out to the time I wanted to, but still gonna cause some damage and run a good marathon for the day. Got them 2 orders out the way. The other order that I just dropped off that was right down the street, she tipped me $18.09. So, you know, I guess that was worth it. Just right here loading up everything. About to run these down, try to catch me another order and stay ahead of the app, so that way I can try to catch as many orders as possible without getting a late delivery. That's one of my strategies. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But as you see, I just got 3 orders. Could have had 4. If I could have got that other one, there was enough time for me to shop and deliver. But I don't know. Well, maybe they wouldn't have got the 18 because they, who knows? Maybe they felt the order wasn't worth it. That's why I don't put too much energy around the tips, because either they gonna tip you or they not. So it's like, you know, if you provide a good service, then you gonna get you a tip. And sometimes people just don't got money, like, you know, so you can't knock a person down because they didn't tip you. Now you do got your cheapskates, but sometimes people just don't got the money and they just got enough to do what they gotta do. So it's like, you gotta respect that part. Do you got all the money to do that shit? Do you tip? Are you a good tipper all the time? You know, you might be a $2 tipper, so, or a no tipper, or you just want to use a service and tip nothing. So it's like, you know, it's all in there. I'm gonna get into all that stuff too. I'm just trying to get the momentum going and get that energy, so then we could go ahead and run this marathon in this beautiful struggle. But let me go ahead and drop these off so I could get on to the next one. I just want to show y'all right quick. So this is the Target's right there. This is where my first delivery's at. The Target's right there. I'm at the street right here. Watch this. So sometimes, you know, deliveries is far out. Sometimes they're a little closer. You got to watch out in these bundles, because sometimes they'll make you one like right across the street and then the other one will be kind of far. So you got to make sure you pay attention to these addresses, because sometimes they'll get you like that and have you on a far out mission, or they'll give you you might think it's a nice payout, but then you have to drive 15-20 miles and it's not like really worth it. So let me show you right here. This is where the first order is at, literally right around the corner. To get to it and get through it. So right here, I actually been over here before too. Right here, come around this corner. Let's see, right here. Boom. So look at that. Right around the corner, drop it off. The other order somewhere in this area too. So, you know, might be able to grab a few extra ones and add that to the daily total. So I just delivered that order. So now I just gotta run it up and get to it, to the next order. I already know where it's at. I'm gonna break things down to you, like how the app works and other stuff. There's one of the reasons why I like this app is because the zones. It's like you could be available for multiple zones at one time, versus some apps you could only be in that zone. But this app right here, I'm like in 15, literally like 15 zones. Like, so the zone is wherever, whatever that little area that part of the app covers. Now this app covers everywhere in Houston, but they got it broken down into zones, and it's like whatever you make yourself available for, then that's where you're gonna get the offers for them orders. So even though I'm not in all the zones, being that I drive around so much, like I might be right here. There's everybody has their like preferred areas. So there's like three zones that I frequent the most. That's why you mostly gonna see me at these certain stores, Target, HEB, or whatever. But I do cover the other areas too. Or sometimes I'll order from one of these Targets because the customer will be way downtown or somewhere, and then I had to drop that off over there instead of trying to come back somewhere in this area. I might look around and see what's available out there. I might have a preferred member, which is like a customer that chose you to be one of their personal shoppers. In this app, every customer has 4 options to choose from. They got 4 shoppers as a preferred shoppers. Every customer does. So they might pick me. I might be downtown and have one of my downtown preferred members that placed the order, and then I could just go grab that over there. So basically it's just me being available everywhere, so that way I could always catch orders and stuff. They do it like that on DoorDash too. But the only thing I don't like about DoorDash is that, they just throwing orders out there. Like, you're not in control of too much how you run your schedule throughout the day and how you set up your operation to run your marathon for the day. On this app, everything's transparent. You can get the offer, the order, look, see how many items, what items, where's the delivery address. Sometimes they don't put apartment numbers in there, so you might have to deliver to an apartment and you just thought it was a address or a house or something, but that's about it. But most of the time, even the apartment number's in there, so you could do your research right quick. Don't spend too much time because there's other people on the app too, but it's definitely more beneficial than how it is on some of the other apps where they only show you partial information, and then you find out everything else when you take the order, and then you find out that that's not really what you wanted. So there is a lot of benefits in the Ship app that I like, and that is one of them. But we on the way to the next Target right now. Finna bust another one down. I think it's a quick 6, but it don't even matter, because something else might pop up. I might be able to catch something else, and then people still tips. And these are just the tips not included in the order, so these are just the flat rates. So the tipper might tip me 10, 15, 5, 7, 4, 3, 2. Like I said, the last customer just tipped me $18, and the order was for like 6 or 7. So that's how you put it together. I just don't read off into the tips too much. I just try to get the orders. If I'm taking the lower orders, then I'm going to go ahead and try to just get as many as possible. That's why I just took like 3 $6, $7 orders, and then plus, so 3 $6, $7 orders plus the $18 tip, and the other customers haven't even tipped yet. So just to give you a idea of how everything works out. So I'm right here. Another Target. There's really, like I was saying earlier, it's really like a few, but it's like this one, the other one that I was at, then there's another one over by the 10 freeway. Those is like the 3 main Targets that I hit, but I hit quite a few of them all throughout Houston and other surrounding cities, but these is like my main 3. It just depends how the orders is coming out on the day. So I'm about to go run this one down right quick. I think this is 4 items. I'm already paying attention to another item at HEB, which is a grocery store. So let's see if I can pull it off. Another one down. Quick 3 items. All clothes, kids, 2 pairs of shoes and a shirt. Button up. Got him down. Finna go run and drop this off. Try to keep the momentum going. and try to see about this other order. Another order down. On my way to another one. That's how we popping them off. That's how I run my marathon. Well, one of the things I'm doing to keep me going, you know, it's a marathon, so it's gonna take some time. You know, gotta think about this shit deep. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but it can be done. Just stay on your grind, whatever it is, it could be done. Don't worry about another person's opinions, thoughts, judgments, none of that shit. Just do your thing. It's never too late. You know, if you able-bodied and got a functional brain, you know how strong is your will. Get it done. I'm over here at the next Target. I got a bundle order. It's almost 16. I was going back and forth about this one because I had another order I had my eye on that might have turned into a little something for less shopping. But I was a little closer, and I really didn't want to risk it just yet. Like I said, we right here at Target. I didn't really want to risk it yet, so I went ahead and just took this one. And we're gonna try to knock it down and see if I could grab something and catch another quick one and make it all worth it. Either way, I think one item is like 36, the other item is like 12 or 13. Kind of both in the same area. I finished the order. It's 2 items. It was a little bit more. I think it was like 20 items and then like 16 items on the other one. So I'm just bagging up everything right now, getting ready. There's several reasons why I don't really care for the bundle orders. Some people like them because, you know, it's a chance to get tips, you know, so that's 2 times action to get the tips. But it just be too much going on. One order could go smooth, the next order could take an hour. It's just a lot of factors in there when you're shopping for multiple peoples. So it's like you gotta have extra time, you know, to actually get things done, just in case something comes up. For example, on this order, some of the stuff wasn't available. I had to message the customer. Sometimes the customers don't respond in time, or they just take forever to respond. And if you just go ahead and make an executive decision and make a substitution, sometimes the customers get mad and start talking about why you didn't message me, and then you be like, well, I messaged you 20 minutes ago, and then so it's just a lot going on right there. And then also when you have multiple items on a bundle order, that's a lot of items. For example, say this was 25 and 35 items, then you gotta separate everything and be very meticulous and make sure that everything is separated as well, so that way both customers get the correct items. So it just be a lot going on. So that's the reasons why I don't really care for the bundle orders, but I will do them if it makes sense and I could pull it off. Like right now, I'm gonna be able to pull it off, of course. I'm always gonna pull it off, but you know, sometimes those bundles is be the ones that give me that late delivery, because I end up, something comes up and I have to hustle, and then it just traffic. It's a lot of factors. But I got the order done, so I'm just bagging up right now and getting everything ready, and I'm gonna run this on down. I already had a preferred member right now, so technically I already got the next order lined up. I gotta drop off these 2 and then get to the next one. A very, very important lesson. You could take this one if you want to, but this comes from personal experience. Always find the spot first. Don't just think that the building and it's just right around the corner, so you could just go out there and start taking the order. Now, if you got a cart or something with some wheels on it and you could load up the order, then that's one thing. But especially if it's a larger order and you just think that you're gonna grab it and drop it off, don't do that, because you will mess around and find yourself walking around looking for an apartment. Now, if you know the complex and you know where everything's at, that's one thing. But if you don't, it would be wise to try to find the location first, then go back and get the stuff and drop it off. Also, try to get as close as possible, so that way you could get in there, drop the stuff off, and get out. I'm telling you all this because this is an example right here that I want to show you. So I got the order. It's 11 at apartment 1133, but as you can see, it's 3 stories on here right here. Now, I already did the research. The order's on the 3rd floor. So now I got these waters and some other stuff. So now if I get out my vehicle and just start trying to drop stuff off, it's gonna be a lot of labor and strain on my body trying to get to the orders. So that's a prime example right there. I seen my camera was messing up a little bit, so I don't know if that's gonna come out. If it does, sorry about that, but I just wanted to bring that to y'all attention, because that's what the main thing. On top of running, this is how I'm running my marathon, but I'm also giving any type of information that I feel would be valuable to somebody that's on an app, somebody that's might sign up for an app in the future, or anything. Like, you getting free game. Hopefully y'all use it and soak it up. So I'm at the next spot, which is HEB. I don't know if y'all can see it in the background right there. Hold on. I don't know if y'all can see it in the background right there. Get y'all that better view. Let me see, right there. See it back there? HEB. Okay, so another thing that I want to bring a little pointer. Now, keep in mind, these is just how I do my operation. Everybody has their own way of running a marathon, but this is how I do mine. So, as you can see by the sign right there, let me see. As you can see by the sign right there, I'm kind of far away from the entrance, but I'm not worried about that. Like, I know some people like to try to get as close as possible and then try to run off into the store and grab their stuff and then think they gonna zoom out and just get to the deliver whatever the order is. But that's not how it works. You try to get close in there, especially depending on what time of day it is. It might take you 10-20 minutes just to get out the parking lot, literally, especially depending on how big the store is. So I'm not worried about the arrival, I'm worried about the departure. So I'd get parked as closest to the exit so I could go grab my stuff, shop for it, load it up, and hop right back on the road. And also, like, I'll go into not the main entrance, I'll park on the other entrance. While everybody's trying to get into that one entrance, I'll go to the other one and get in right there, park right there towards the exit, and then just go shop and get up out of there. So that's how I do mine. Also, out of the bundle, it was for 15, almost 16. Somebody tipped 12, almost 13. Other tip haven't came through. I don't really be counting, but I just know from that transaction. But really, it's about the experience and the quality of service that I offer for every customer, and shopping for them basically like I would shop for myself, and being very meticulous, staying in contact, and walking down the order, which I call walk down the order with them, and just make sure everything is good and don't forget no items. those is how I feel like the tips come from. I just picked up another order as I was shopping for this for my preferred customer. So I gotta kind of put a little fire under my feet to make sure that I get them both delivered on time. You know, one is from 5 to 6, one is from 6 to 7. It's already 5, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to get them both done right now and then just have them delivered instead of dropping it one off and then coming back and then shopping like that. Out here in this after work traffic, trying to get the job done. You know, like I say, you kind of got to be a little aggressive driver out here. Otherwise, it's like you could get stuck in a traffic jam. You could get stuck behind somebody that's just on their phone the whole time and you can't see in front of the car, so you think it's a traffic jam. Come to find out, the person just on the phone. It's just a lot of factors in that. So, you know, you might have to just be a little aggressive to get it done, especially if you on these apps. You know, you're gonna have to get them orders, like you're gonna have to hustle. So I'm headed over here to this next spot. I already got my eye on the next order, so I'm just trying to drop this one off. I thought this one was gonna be a little further, so I went ahead and did that. You seen that person come through. Sometimes people don't even drive like that and they just see somebody else driving a certain way and then they'll try to follow suit, but that's not really how they drive. If that's you, then just be careful. Drive how you drive. I'm just letting you know, people drive kind of however they like to out here. So I hustled over here to this HEB. I don't know if you can see it in the background. Hold on, y'all. Alright. So I headed over to this HEB, tried to catch an order. I didn't move on it fast enough. You know, the algorithm changes on this app anyways. Often, you know, once they figure out how people's running their operation and their daily marathons, then they switch up things to keep you off balance, to make sure that they not paying extras for the orders. Like if the app had it their way, then they would pay everybody $6, $7, $8 or whatever the bare minimum is, plus the tips for the orders. But sometimes if the orders sit too long, for example, an order might have got pushed, keeps getting pushed back to the next delivery time. So for example, if your order was from 8 to 9, then it get pushed back to 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12. If that happens a bunch of times, then they go ahead and put a little bonus on there, so that incentivizes the drivers to deliver that order. So they don't really like that when that happens too much. So the algorithm adjusts ever so often once people figure out different little hacks on how to maximize their earnings on a daily basis. So now, one thing that the algorithm has going on right now is they don't really give you too much time to think. If you don't take the order, then it might disappear. They might just move it to the next hour, or somebody else will grab it. It seems like it's a lot more new drivers out, so somebody else might have grabbed the order, and then there it goes. So it was a bundle. Both of the customers were my preferred members, but the time frame. Oh, and another thing that the app is doing right now. This is only on Shipt. I don't know what's going on y'all app, or how it's going, or even in your area it might be different. Houston's got millions of people, so it's a lot going on in the apps and stuff. You might be in a smaller town or something, but one of the things they doing now, which is why I didn't take the order, is they used to get the extra few dollars a little at a different time, but now what they doing is they're they'll push it over. For example, the orders from 7 to 8. What they'll do is put that shit at 7:10, so that leaves you like 50 minutes to hustle and bustle for the order, and then you gotta run it like that. So I'm paying attention to everything. So it's like I didn't take the order. I drove from where my other drop-off location was at to over here to see what happens and select some time, and it still didn't go. So somebody must have took it. It was 2 of my prefers. One, it was total like 40-something items. It's like I already know how that goes. I didn't want to have to hustle that to get a late order. So I left it alone. Ain't nothing else on the thing. So I'm just finna sit right here and wait her. I might run a few errands. You know, you gotta kind of loiter a little bit because, you know, sometimes the orders don't come. Oh, another thing, which is why I got on here in the first place for this time, I wanted to share is another thing that makes it kind of, you know, tricky to get orders is because not everybody moves around. Like, people stay at specific locations. They do that on a lot of apps. If you like on DoorDash and all the other apps, for example, if you get to a hot spot, or you know where, like on DoorDash out Chick-fil-A, you could go to Chick-fil-A, whatever zone you in, it's booming, you more likely to get some orders. So you'll see people sitting in their cars and different things waiting on the orders. So it's like they already over there. So it makes it a little tricky to go ahead and to get the order sometimes. So even for example right here at this HEB, you got the app I'm on. There's another app. There's probably like, and then okay, so you got Shipt, Favor, Instacart, DoorDash, and whatever else is going on. Now all apps damn near you can shop and deliver on. So people, it's hella people out here camped out in the parking lot right now. People sit out here all day and just do that, and they don't really drive too far out their zone. Me myself, I like to keep it moving, so I'm a little bit of everywhere. And you know, I just clean up in between. Even like today, I got another preferred customer request, so I just try to make sure that I provide the best possible service and experience for the customer, and then I just leave the rest up to whatever is going to happen. But yeah, it's at least about 7 people out here waiting right now for orders, scrolling on their phone and different things. So it's like I don't even try to compete with that. I'm gonna sit out here for just a minute, but if not, I'm gonna go ahead and move around, and you know, orders just come. Like so if I'm moving around and there might be an order over there, so it's like you no need to just sit right here, I guess, on gas. But you know, I have loiter spots. My loiter spot that I be at the gas station over there off the 10 is just a few miles down. So, you know, I might go get some refreshments, anything. It's just like, you know, sometimes the orders don't come like you want them to, especially if it's not peak hours. So you got to get creative and stay busy and just run your marathon throughout the day. So that's what I'm doing right now.